Hello, hello, hello. This is Ronda Winstead. How are you, my friends? It is good to be here with you. I thought I heard some of you say, more, more, more. We want to see more. Okay, well, this is what we've got. I have been having so much fun, you guys, altering these Christmas cards, repurposing them, giving them new life, that I decided to do one more video. This will be the last one on the repurposing of the Christmas cards, but it's been so much fun. And thank you for your support. I have just felt of your love, and I'm just truly, truly grateful. Okay, if you didn't watch my first video, I will put the link down in the description box below. And if you'll recall, those of you that did, this was the journal card that we made together. And then, after I turned the video off, well, I just kind of kept it going. And I made this. This is postcard size, but it still will make a wonderful journal card. Look at this. So I added, this is fabric. Of course, I stitched the strips of fabric. And then I added this wonderful vertical word. And again, that comes from the Junk Journal Studio. And I think her words have just been, I've just loved them. They fit so well with what I'm doing here. And some fun coffee-dyed paper to back it. So there's that. We'll just kind of set those aside here. And then I got the wild hair. It's like, well, what if you were to cut the Christmas card differently and create a journal card this way instead of a tag? And it's like, yes, yes, yes. And I love this. I absolutely love this. I also did this because it's a little simpler for maybe those of you that don't want to sew itty-bitty scraps and whatnot, that you can have a few larger pieces. And there's very little stitching. And I did a couple of these without stitching to just show that you can glue and you can still create with the fabric and with the paper some wonderful fun things. By the way, how are you? It's so good to be with you today, and I hope that everything in your world is going great. As I'm sitting here at my desk, I'm looking out one of my windows and I'm seeing gorgeous red and yellow and green on the trees out there. And it's just like, I love the fall. I just love the fall. I can't wait. We leave tomorrow. So excited for a fall color trip, and I hope it goes well. Okay, so look at this. This little thread. And of course you can keep the threads, cut them off or keep them, whatever you want to do. And I was going to keep them, but because I snipped my corners, just because I like that look, it softens it just a teeny bit, then my threads got cut off, which is fine. This one, I did washi tape down the center of the card. So I took a card, say, like for instance, this is bigger than what I used, but so I cut it this way. So I cut pieces off this way and kept with the fold. And so that's what I did with this, which is super simple. And then I just put the washi tape down here, and then I put another piece of fabric here, a piece of fabric here, and then this one I stitched the way I do with right sides together and then you fold it out. But this one I didn't. This one I didn't. And I still think they look great. There's not a lot of sewing on there. And then I just added this fun picture of a Santa. And this is one, I believe I bought a holiday book of, copyright free that you can use and had all kinds of images. And I think that's where this particular one came from. And did that like I showed you with the other, and then I covered it and then stitched around. And I just think that's such a fun. So you got to add this, guys, to your, excuse me, Froggy, go away. To your sewing, to your creating. Add another, it's just another fun thing that will fit in a pocket. It'll look great. And then, so I did a couple of those. Here's another one. And this one, I added a word. I thought, this is perfect. Here he's going down the chimney. Well, there's a chimney, the word. And this one I backed with the green paper that's, you can order it. It's in a roll. It's, trying to think of what it's called. It's very thin, but you can write on it. You can kind of see, I don't know if you can hear or not, but I can see on the actual card little bits of the remnant of the Christmas card behind it, which I think is kind of fun because it gives it some added dimension, and shows that you have repurposed. And so this is just one piece, and this is one piece. And then I did one in the middle, and I did these with, stitching them right sides together, folding it out, right sides together, folding it out. So you get this for even less sewing, and I love the look. I love this. It's just like, oh, yes, we gotta do more. And then, she said, I found a piece of some of my old, this is old Christmas fabric that I've had forever. And I just thought, oh, how cute. So this is what I did with this one and added this Christmas tag or ticket, I guess. And then this has got the writing paper, the vintage writing paper, and I can read through Celebrate the Birth of Christ on the inside there. So isn't that fun? So I did 3 like that. And then I thought, well, sometimes you get a card that you really like and you would like to keep the picture the way it is. So here we have, this was originally, it opened up this way, right? Big card. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is Thomas Kincaid. He's kind of a famous American painter of light is what he's known for, because he brings light into all his paintings. And I just think this is wonderful. And I added one of these vertical tags or words from the Junk Journal Studio. And I just left the back as is. And I didn't even have enough, but I just glued, some scrap paper on there and then stitched all the way around it. Is that just fun? So the things you can do with your Christmas cards, guys, I mean, you have to do it. Well, you don't have to. You can just sit and visit with me, and, that would be lovely, too. I love that idea. Okay, so continuing on this journey, on my thought process, okay? So this is how I've been evolving. And I did one more of these with the very same fabric on both sides. This one, I did it the same way as this, only on this one I used different fabrics. This one I used the same, and found this sweet little guy. I think it's a guy, maybe a girl, I don't know, but you know, so sweet. And then this I covered with scrapbook paper. I thought, you know, we can bring in those fun scrapbooking papers too if you want. And then did, you know, the same as I had done before. So then I'm not done. Then I thought, well, what about making a little booklet? And so this is what we are doing here. I just tied a fun little, you know, little bits of decorative yarn around it. This, I have a layer of cheesecloth, then some paper underneath, and then another one of those vertical words. And this card, is this just cute? Open it up, and I've just added, you know, some scrap papers. So you've got a notebook. I mean, you got a lot of journaling in here, right? And then, look, this was the card. Is that just too cute? And opened up this way. So when you're looking for making booklets or with your cards, you want those that fold up this way, not this way. Does that make sense? So I just think it's just adorable. And then, of course, I've got the back, the other half of this card, which is this, that I have cut down. And I thought we would finish this tag together. And yeah. And then I'm going to show you one other thing. A money, you know, if you want to give money at Christmas time, you know how you buy the money holders. Okay, so let's move this stuff aside. Oh, it's so good to be with you guys. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, so I have cut the card down to a size that I think this is 3.5 inches. And I think this is a good size for a tag. And it's probably about 6 inches or a little over. Yeah, about 6.5 inches tall. So I did this the same way. Put a piece of fabric on, and then another piece stitched, folded over, and I glued it down. So what I want to do, I think this, I'll call this the way I want to use it. And I got a couple of images that I thought we could try and see what we think. This is one. I like it. I like it. Do you like it? And this is the other one. And I'm not sure. Like if we do this one, then I'm thinking that we could definitely we could put a ticket above here. I don't know, some of these are maybe a little too little or they go too fat. I don't know. Let's see. So with something like this, I thought we could, it's just too big. It's just too big. Let's see. Let's just kind of go through here for just a minute. Move that over. We could do, well, let's see. So I got two sizes here. And I don't remember where these came from, honestly. It's cute. But is it really cute? Well, I don't know. Well, I even keep those that, cut off because it might be the bottom of something and, it's in a collage and it looks like you meant to do it. Let's see. These little booklets that I have these are just photo albums, those cheap little 4x6 photo albums that you can get. Do you like that? I could do it this way. I think I like this better than up at the top. This way it seems to be a little bit top heavy. A little more disjointed. This, showing it this way, I think it gives it a little more cohesion. Does that make sense? And I love how this looks. Oh, decisions. Oh, look, with the little boy and the little girl. We could do this. What do you think? Should we? Should we not? Let's look at it again. Is it 6 of one and half a dozen of another? In some respects, I kind of think it is, Well, let's see. Looking over here, could do this. That's really cute, though. But let's try. Excuse my voice. Old Froggy thinks he needs to be to every party I go to. I'm just really don't know what to think about him. Do-do-do-do. I like this better. Do you like that better? If you don't, I'm sorry. And do I like this? Honestly, I'm just going with this. We're just going to go with it because we're taking up way too much time just trying to figure it out. But the reality is, guys, that is the way it goes. Now, we could, if we want, let's complicate it a little bit more. Should we complicate it a little bit more? Well, no, because I've got that grounded. They're grounded on that. So, let's keep it simple. Keep it simple. I would say the other S word that goes with keep it simple, but I won't because I don't like that word. I think it's a negative word. And there's too much negative out there. We want to keep it positive. I guess we could do keep it simple, Simon. Simple Simon. Oh, okay. Let me kind of use a bone folder and just kind of make sure that's tacked down nicely. And then we shall do this part. So yeah, today, guys, this is get her done. So I wanted to come on and do one more video. You won't see this for a few days though, because I want to have something to show a few days into our trip so that doesn't feel like you have to go so long before, you see a video from me. Okay. All right. Now, so the next step that we would do on this, and this is good because I didn't show you in the other video because we did the journal card instead of the journaling tag. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm just going to cut off a bit. Then I'm just gonna rip that off. Sorry about the craziness. And I can eyeball it, which I usually do, but anyway. Okay, so now we've got our tag shape, and I think I want to clip off just the little edge there, and that's kind of a nod to Rachel. So I'm going to stitch all the way around the tag. I'm going to stitch around here. I don't think I will stitch around the little vintage boy and girl. I've got them glued nicely, but I do like to add a little bit more dimension. So I'm just gonna do that. Let me throw a couple of these things down that you can look at. Oh, and that's what we're going to focus on next. So let me just get my little stitching done here. Oh, you guys, it just feels so good to be in my studio, to be working. Kind of. I mean, let's be real. Sometimes when I'm in my studio, it's like I feel like I'm just playing, not working. But doing the video part, that is a little more work, But totally worth it. Totally worth it because it makes it so I can spend time with you. So we're just stitching this. Now you could zigzag around the whole thing. That would be a fun option. You could just glue, and that's perfectly wonderful. You can do a different decorative stitch. You do what makes you happy. This is your project, and you're creating some fun things to go in your journals, to do exchanges with others. I don't know, maybe you're even selling them in your shops, whatever it is that you're doing. That's cool too. That's one thing that I'm going to be on the lookout for, guys, is in our antiquing, when we go to Maine. Oh, shoot, I forgot. You guys forgot. I didn't do that. Ag. Well, you can see how not to do it. Okay. So, now because I didn't put a journaling space on the back there, I get to do that now. And it's a little more challenging than it would have been had I done it the right way. Yes, indeed. So, let's see. We've got this. So, I think we will just glue around the edges. It just goes to show you, you can just, we all mess up. I mean, that's just the way it is. Anybody that tries to tell you that they do it perfectly is I don't know, they're either smoking something or they're or they're in their own little make-believe world or something, because that's just not realistic. Everybody makes mistakes. And that is okay. Okay, well, I need to fill my art glitter glue. This is art glitter glue. And this is the little applicator that comes with it. Okay, so I am just going to line this up with one side here. Okay. And then we will just... Now you'll notice that I didn't glue the whole paper or the whole tag, if you will. And I'll tell you the reason why. Excuse me. Let me see if I've got a good example that I can show you. Would be better than just telling you about it. Okay, here's a good example. See this one? And this is still fun, it's still fine, but I glued the whole tag. Therefore, everything's raised up as much. This I didn't. See the difference? And so you see the difference here. You can still see through it, but it's not like smushed. And so I just think it looks nicer. I mean, you know, 6 of one, half a dozen of another, I guess, really. So now I'm just trimming. And we will. And this is where, when I trim like this, is where my little extras get cut off. Okay, so we'll just do this. We'll snip here. We will snip here. We will snip here. Okay. Let's get that out of the way. Okay, now do I want to punch a hole in there, or do I want to put a piece of fabric, make a tag, something like this, and just, you know, have it be fun? That away, that away. What if we did? I'm just reaching into some of my fabrics. Do. And I don't have a whale's tail. I wish I did, but I don't. So that's just, I don't know, Stampin' Up! Should have done that. By the way, back in the dinosaur age, I used to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and did a lot with cards and whatnot. Oh, that's pretty. Let's do that. Let's do this one. So, yeah, they didn't have the whale's tail at that time when I was doing it. And when I got out of it, I had no idea, because it had been a while. And then, come to find out, they were like going like hotcakes, the vintage ones. And I sold most of them. Okay. Now I can go ahead and stitch that if I want. I can leave it as is. But there's another tag. Okay. Let's get to the money holder. I do apologize for old Frog. He's very irritating. Okay. I mean, who isn't going to enjoy opening this up on Christmas? And you can write a note, you can do pictures, you can put a letter in there with that, with the money, or you can just do the money. And kids mostly probably just want the money, right? So this one, guys, I did not stitch around my edges. I wanted to show you one thing that was completely, well, it's not completely, because I stitched around my image here, but I didn't stitch on the actual holder itself. So this is just an additional whatever, but it's put together without any stitching at all. So I wanted to show you that. Excuse me. Just one sec. Let me take a drink of water and see if that will help old Frogger get out of here. Ugh. So what I did was, you just want a good glue, you know, a good fabric to paper glue. I just used, this is what I used, Fast Grab Tacky Glue, Aleene's. And that worked fine for me. You know, there's Fabri-Tac. I mean, you can use all kinds of, you know, whatever it is. But I did want to make sure to do something for those of you that do not sew, that you can still have super fun and amazing gifts, you know, things to do for your, you know, your creating and whatnot. And this is the size of a US dollar. Obviously, in whatever country you live in, you would need to adapt. And I have a pattern that I haven't put in my Etsy shop yet. But I created a pattern yesterday when I had the idea. I'm laying in bed before I get up in the morning, you know, and I was just like, oh, a money holder. Oh, okay. Well, so how am I going to create that? Let's see, how's it going to fold? What am I going to, you know, these are my early morning thoughts before I get out of bed. And so I spent, I don't know, a good, it was a while to actually create. And I destroyed one Christmas card. Ugh, sorry, Annette, I love you, but your Christmas card went. And then I thought, oh, well, that was stupid. Get some regular paper before you decide to ruin any more Christmas cards. And so I did. And so this fits a perfect size for U.S. bills. You just have to make sure, and I see just a little teeny bit here. I want to go ahead and glue that down. Sometimes your corners need just a little bit extra, don't they? Okay, let's put that back in. Put it back in. Okay, so on this, it's basically what it is. I mean, it's so simple. You use the pattern, you put it on your card. Okay, let's say this is the card we're going to use. Okay. So, let me get the pattern. So, I would line it up so that my fold line lines up with one of my fold lines here. And here's another little tip just to help make this easier, because I don't know about you, but I'm having a hard time seeing that fold line. So I'm just going to very lightly with a pencil mark that. So that's a little bit easier. So then I would line this up, and depending on what I wanted to show, so more of the card probably here, then I would do it. I'll do it this way. And do I need to, I'm just going to go to the top here, right? Here and here. And then I am going to just trace around. And you can see I'm a little shaky. That's compliments of my Cancer. Thank you very much, Cancer. Appreciate that so much. You know how I love you. Not. Okay. So, then let's just... And you can make your own pattern. I'm not by any means trying to say, well, you have to go by my pattern. And there are probably people that have been doing this for a while. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but that doesn't mean it hasn't been done by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not giving myself, you know, that kind of credit, because I'm sure somebody's done it. I am just... And we are just trying to make it so that we get as much as possible, as straight as possible, without cutting into damaging. So let's see. Let's go ahead and trip this. The thing I was saying I was excited about on the antique shops is I am going to look for antique books, and I would love it if I could come across some that I could share with you. But we'll see, you know. I have no clue, and I'm always on the lookout for amazing old papers and things that way too. So, and something like that wouldn't be too bad as far as taking it home, because we just have a small, you know, car. It's fine for us, but it'll be fairly full as we travel, and so obviously I can't like bring home a chair or a dresser or, you know, anything of that nature. Now this part's a little tricky, but it's doable. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing okay. Okay. So, there we have, that's kind of cool, isn't it? So then, and I don't, it depends on what I do here as to whether I need to erase or not. But I'm just going to erase this just because I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. And I always use a gum eraser. And the pencil is light. Never want to, you know, heavy duty that. So, you get out your stylus. And funny little story about my stylus, my friends. Yesterday, I broke this little sucker. It broke off right here. I had two. So I had a stylus on this end this long and the other end this long. And I was going to go buy a new one. And I thought, oh, you know, I can get some of that glue that I used to put things together when I was doing metal people out of, you know, old vintage tins and whatnot. And so I still had some of that glue, and I put it, and I'm good. Yay! But I'm going to be a little more careful and maybe not try to damage this quite so easily. Ooh, I don't know. We'll see. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, well, a new stylus is on my list, guys. Oh, all right. Well, at least you know I wasn't lying. I told you about the story. So I don't have a scoreboard. I used to have a scoreboard. I got rid of my scoreboard because I find they're just irritating, quite frankly. I punch through and end up getting holes in mine. And it's like, well, that's stupid. Oh, I said that word, didn't I? Oops. I don't know. What am I going to tell you? It is what it is. You get me as I am. Very imperfect. Very, very imperfect. All right, let's use a little bigger ruler to get the skinny on this one. And try to get that as even as possible. And let's go with this little guy. And that's just, see, so I just, a scoreboard is just kind of like, eh. Okay, so there's our pattern. So then you can go ahead. I'm not going to do that on camera because I want to go ahead and wrap this up. But then you can, with either paper or fabric, some of your scrap fabrics, go ahead and glue the whole thing down, just like I've done here. And on this side, you'll see what I chose to do. This is my card backing, and I will probably keep this as well. And I just covered up this because my words were here just like they are here, and so I did a piece of paper or fabric. You could do either to cover that up so that it's nice. And you put your money or your goodies. And oh, one thing I didn't show you, and I will real quickly. Fold it this way, and then I just make a little line right there. And you'll do that when you get it all glued on. And of course, you can stitch around that too if you want to. I just wanting to make this so that for those of you that don't do the machines, that, I'm thinking about you. I love you too, and I don't want you to feel like you're being left out. So then I would just draw a line here, and then I would cut it out. I just use an X-Acto to do that part. And then you just fiddle with it, and it goes in. And as you work with it a little bit more, it's easier to fold in. Now this one, you can see that's a little bit, I would trim that before I cover it. But you get the idea. And then what I did was I used my walnut stain on this particular one and went around to just add a little more dimension to just kind of define it a little bit more. All right, guys, so that is my video for today, and I hope you are doing well. I love you. I'm out shopping. I'm looking for more goodies to share, and I'm sightseeing, and I'm resting, and it's going to be fabulous, but I can't wait to get back and share with you about the trip and everything that way. So get out those Christmas cards. Get them out. If you find them in thrift stores, get them, do some fun things. Even if you get some brand new ones that are just really generic, and repurpose those, that will work great as well. All right. Love you. I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye now.